to all of you. I hope you're having a beautiful time and a wonderful morning, and all of you are enjoying here a lot. Because we have limited time, and I would like to, you know, close it in 14 minutes, not 15. So, my name is Dr. Jay Madan. I am basically, I do astrology, I do Vastu, I do all of it. But here we're going to talk about meditation, something that is very close to me, which is attached to me. And I do believe in the whole way it works. How does it works? And the moment we talk about meditation, there is a certain stress everybody has, and we feel that ये तो मुझसे होता ही नहीं, I am unable to concentrate, मेरा ध्यान नहीं लगता, I can't focus my mind, I have 200 thoughts running in my mind. So there is too much of stress and anxiety when it comes to the point of meditation. That's not true. So meditation and medication comes from the same root. This is the same root which keeps us sane. So what is the purpose of medication? It heals your body, it heals you physically. Similarly, meditation heals you mentally. We all understand that. But hota kahan hai? I like it, I understand, but it doesn't happen. And especially children of your age, it's a punishment. So if we tell students of your age that sit for meditation, they feel isse acha to mujhe bhindi khilwa do. I can have pinda tori. Don't ask me to meditate. So it is a stressful thing, which is understandable. But why do you feel that way, and how do we change it? Is something that we need to understand. I started my meditation when I was 13 years old. So I bunked my school for the first time and went for a Reiki workshop. There I did Om meditation. So we should do things which are not religious specific. This is my first respect to you, that meditation is not something that a Muslim can do, a Christian can do, a Sikh can do, or a Hindu can do or not do. I mean, it's same for everyone. It's like you can't have a paracetamol tablet. A Hindu can have thinking mera fever utrega, and a Muslim eating ki Hindu ka utra hai to mera nahi utrega. It is not like that. A medicine will work same on everybody. If the conditions of the body are same. Similarly, meditation also works in the same way. Now, let me explain it to you why it is important. So our brain is a very interesting instrument, and it's very scientific. So now that we understand that brain has two hemispheres, and who knows it better than psychology students here? Right hemisphere of the brain and left hemisphere of the brain, which is cross body. So your right is managed by your left, and your left is managed by your right. So this brain, left brain, is something which is very manipulative. It has a lot of analysis. It is the masculine part of your side. And this brain, the right brain, which is operated by left, is your brain which is more emotional, more creative. And we have always seen, in Hindu culture, we have seen Shiv and Parvati together, which is called Ardhanarishwar. Actually, there's no Ardhanarishwar. Why a woman and a man would be joined together? On the physical level, yes, we know they do join together. But on the mental level, it is your own brain. It is your midbrain activation. It is your midbrain activation. It is your left brain and your right brain together. But why are we talking about meditation, and why is it even important? So here I'm going to tell you something. When you meet people and you feel that this person is relaxed, this person is easy, the person is the tone of the voice, the way the communication is. There's a lot of easiness in the communication, like I am talking to you right now. This is the brain wave that I might be into when we are into beta. So our brain waves are divided into 5 different forms. First is called gamma. Gamma is like like a drum beating. It's 30 hertz and plus. When does that happen? When we have anxiety in life, suddenly there is a announcement in your college that there's this sudden examination, and if you clear it, that is where you go to the next level in college. So everybody will have panic. People will open books, check, do, write exam. The panic situation where we come into the fight or flight mode is the brain level where we are at gamma. Most of the people who are now listening to me and trying to understand, concentrating on what I'm saying, would be just sitting like that and hearing and listening and understanding what I'm trying to say. This is where you are in actually beta brainwave, where we just concentrate. Our attention is very high. Something new is happening. You want to learn something. You have interest in someone. You want to notice. You want to concentrate. Our body language goes like that, like watching a cricket match. You don't miss a ball. You just sit like that and your concentration is super. This is the brain wave where your brain frequency is between 13 to 30 hertz, right? This is where the beta is there. This is what we need in our everyday life. When you are studying, you need to be in beta. When you are in panic, you need to be in gamma. But if you are every day in the same mode, you actually go mad. Because what about the creativity? So here, this is the next level where meditation takes you instantly. It's called alpha brainwave, which is between 18 to 13 hertz. What is this alpha about? Now, like, if I start talking to you, in which I take pauses, my eyes don't blink much, I'm at ease. Every word that I am saying is clearer, is making an impact to you. This is where the mind comes into alpha frequency. Now, this is the brain frequency that that is very creative. This is where the creation happens. You've noticed people who are writers, poets, or you for that matter, if you're going and doing some research, you need silent time, you need me time, you need good ambience, you need relaxation. And that is where your mind, your juices started flowing and you're able to create something, right? This is where meditation takes you instantly. It's magical because it lower downs your breath level. Your breathing becomes easy, it is comfortable, and it is shallow. This is where you should immediately go because of the alpha brainwave. Now, the next level is where the magic happens. It happens to you. Kabhi kabhi, while eating the lunch time, or if you have a heavy day or busy day, you suddenly feel so tired that you just want to sleep and take a nap, like a real nap. And this 5-10 minutes of nap is so energizing that you feel completely amazed. You feel so focused. You feel so refreshed. This is where we feel and we get into the mode when we sleep at night also. It is called theta brain wave. So theta has frequency from 4 to 8 hertz. This is the time when we are little conscious but not very active. We are aware but not super aware. This is the frequency where meditation takes you if you practice a bit longer. But isse hoga kya? Why do we need to go to this frequency? Any pain, any suffering, mental or physical, any anxiety that needs to be taken care of, washed off, healing, the body and the mind healing, the emotional healing happens when the brain gets into theta brain frequency. This is where meditation takes you. And when you notice how your body reacts when you are in theta, you can immediately come to that cycle. That is what big yogis and siddhas used to do. It's not magic, it's understanding your own body signs. How we simply understand, like for me, I might be allergic to chole, you might be allergic to wheat, somebody's allergic to milk, lactose intolerance. We all understand our body, our food, कि ये खाएंगे acidity होगा, ये खाएंगे problem होगा, इससे खाने से ये problem होगा. you know so the way we understand food for our body, the moment we understand reactions of our body, what calms us, what breathing pattern, what position, what position of spine, what exactly calms us down. Nothing in the world puts you into anxiety, and that's what mental health is. See, physical health, there are two aspects to it. No, one, we are ill and we are taking medications to take care of it. We are not well and we're taking medication. The second thing is that you know you do things as a preventive measure, to be healthy. You know calcium is important, and after 40 you start taking calcium pills. You take more of vitamin D, you take more collagen to increase your skill, your skin, the suppleness of your skin. You take vitamin C for immunity. So we do a lot of preventive things for health also. Similarly, meditation is a preventive thing for your mental health, but also a curative thing if you have depression, if you have anxiety, if you get into panic mode very easily. And there are different meditations to suit you. Basically, I would put it into two categories. First category is for people who are hyperactive. They need to go into active meditations like jumping, dancing, exhausting their body, and then getting into it. The next one would be passive meditations. In passive meditation, we go to a phase where people who are very calm and relaxed usually go and meditate, and actually they sleep. They don't meditate. So don't confuse yourself that meditation 5 minute kara or neem 40 minute liya to thinking, oh, I meditated for 45 minutes. No. In meditation, you are aware. That's where the difference is between meditation and sleeping. Now, the fifth brain type or fifth brain wave is called delta wave, which is the frequencies between 1 to 4 hertz. This is the brain frequency where our mind goes in coma, where you're not even conscious. In meditation, also, this stage comes, which is called surti lagai, where you're just lost. You don't even have idea of garmi hai, sardi hai. Your body is not even responding with your mind. You're so much into it. That is what the delta is. And also during very, very deep sleep, when it is sleepless moment, you go into the delta state a bit also. By meditation, you become master of your mind, not slave of your mind. And we as human beings, this is, I think, what we are born for. Anything you want to achieve in life, a good married life, a good relationship, happiness, good work, success, money, any damn thing, anything, it cannot be achieved unless and until your brain is not sharp and well equipped to support you. And to get its support, you have to be a master, not a slave requesting for it. And to be a master, meditation is the easiest and the simplest tool. So it is part of your healthy lifestyle. It is not something जिसको हमको बूढ़ा होकर करना है. No, no, no. It's a stupid and a funny concept. Even a 4-year-old child should know, because this is the time your subconscious mind is very active. This is the time you should learn and know the skill. So here am I, selling you all the art of meditation to be a evolved person. With this, I think I have 2 minutes for 2 questions. If you have any, please feel free to ask me. Hello. Yes, I can read the questions, so you can send it across. Maybe the
Yes, ma'am. We do have some questions. Can I
please.
read it for you?
Yes, that'll be very nice.
Someone has asked a question: How to do meditation daily?
So ideally,
Be-
I would suggest you that you should go on YouTube. You will find a lot of meditation links. The best one that works for everybody is chakra balancing meditation, because your mind is very busy noticing the vibration and the colors. It's very engaging and very evolving. Like a little child has paintbrush and a big wall to paint on. It is very, very interesting. People who don't want to do it, I would suggest try Yog Nidra. It is the easy way of relaxing your mind. Once you understand, it's like addiction. You can't leave it, unless meditation doesn't want you to leave it. So try to understand how it works on you.
Ma'am, we have another question. Is there any other way to increase our power of subconscious?
Yes, affirmations is another way by which you can increase power of your subconscious mind. But affirmations दिन भर मंत्र जाप की तरह नहीं काम करता है. It has to be at a certain point of time, which is early morning when you're lazing in bed. जब आप snooze का button अपने alarm पर दबाते हैं ना, that is the time when your subconscious is very active, where you like अभी नहीं 5 minute 6 minute. That is the time. And when you're dipping down to sleep, when you're just getting into the sleep mode, is also when your subconscious is active. Any seed that you plant at that point of time activates in your subconscious mind.
Thank you, ma'am. We have another question. How do I meditate without any disturbing thoughts?
No, disturbing thoughts to rahegi. Gautam Buddha said that if you don't have thoughts for 60 seconds, you are an enlightened master. And I'm sure you're not, neither am I. The point here is that what do we realize? What kind of thoughts we have? We are so scared to see our own mind, but we want somebody to love us unconditionally. तुम मेरी बकवास सुनो, पर मैं अंदर अपने अंदर नहीं जाकर अपनी बकवास सुन सकती. That is what we do to ourselves. So it teaches you to love and accept yourself.
Okay, ma'am. So there are a lot of questions. We'll just go with the last question. How to learn and how long we must meditate?
देखो, we can start from 15 to 20 minutes, but sleeping time is not counted in meditation. You have to be aware and active. Every day it is important, at least for 40 days, so that your brain develops a neuron pattern to get addicted and accepted by it. So if you skip a day, we're back to zero. And to begin with 20 minutes.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us a valuable time. It's our privilege to have you here and for addressing, enlightening, and so beautifully about the meditation and reinforcing us to start picking up that habit.